Alright, every time I touched this dough it fell apart in my hands. I'm Jeff, and I have no idea what I'm doing because I only bake sometimes. So keep watching, or better yet, subscribe to feel better about yourself. Welcome to Dessert Passports, where I'll be randomly selecting, then ranking the top 100 desserts in the world. So let's make a thing. A little bit different. I was recommended to show my face more, my personality a little bit more. Apparently that's a winning quality. I have no other mic, so we're using this puffy dude. Normally you don't see it, but maybe I should name it, so here I am. We'll try something a little different this video. Testing audio, 1, 2. Peh, peh, peh. Poo, poo, poo. Plack, plack, plack. I originally found this list on Taste Atlas in February of 2025, and the list does periodically update, but I'll be working from the original one I found in mid-Feb. With that, I will be working from the recipe on Taste Atlas, along with everything else, just to keep it consistent. Looks like we're going back to Europe for our third episode. Been making VANILLEKIPFERL from Austria. And you know what? This is actually our first cookie of the series. So this is commonly found throughout Austria and Central Europe, like Germany and Hungary. VANILLEKIPFERL are traditional sweet crescent-shaped cookies consisting of flour, sugar, butter, and vanilla, of course. The cookies often contain ground nuts such as hazelnuts, almonds, or walnuts, or can contain no nuts at all. If you've never had it before, you might be able to draw some inspiration from a traditional shortbread cookie. These cookies were invented in the days of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. When the empire's army defeated the Turkish in Vienna in 1683, the city's bakers celebrated the victory by shaping the kipferls into crescents, mimicking Turkey's flag. I guess Turkey can have their revenge when one of their recipes gets selected. Today, VANILLEKIPFERL are popular around Christmas time and can be dusted with powdered sugar or even half dipped in chocolate. The recipe starts out by saying all the ingredients should be cold before making this. It's to prevent the dough from melting while you're kneading it, although you'll see my struggles with that later. Being in the United States, I only found vanilla sugar after I made these, which is sad.
America, explain! Explain!
Vanilla sugar is sold more in Europe in small packets, so I made my own. There was a short recipe before the actual recipe started. The variation of what I could find on vanilla sugar was crazy. It can go from vanilla with white granulated sugar, it can go from powdered sugar to paste to any number of things. There wasn't really a consistent theme here between type of vanilla and type of sugar used. So here's how I did it. I took powdered sugar and combined it with liquid vanilla extract in a 7:1 ratio to form a paste. And no, I didn't write down the concentrations, and it only kind of formed a paste. This should work. The paste can stay out overnight, up to 24 hours, or if you have no patience like myself, you can dry it out in a very low temp oven. My oven goes down to as low as 175 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius. Be very careful. It will melt if you have too many ants in your pants. Mine was still a little melty, and I was so quick to react that I didn't even record myself taking it out of the oven. I didn't start out with finely ground walnuts, so if there's anything I've learned throughout the series so far is that I can shoddily make anything. So I put my 70 grams of chopped walnuts and put them in a blender. You can roast your nuts before doing this. I didn't this time. Rather than roasting, I prefer positive reinforcement. Good job, nuts. You're doing great. I also probably should have used a food processor for this, but it's on the higher shelf, and my fragile masculinity can't handle using a step stool. I cut the cold butter up for this. I thought it'd be easier to work with. It also somehow tastes better if you yell Kobe and throw it into the bowl. I don't know, science or placebo or something. This dough is made up of 50 grams of white granulated sugar, 160 grams of unsalted butter, 70 grams of finely ground walnuts, and 200 grams of all-purpose flour, all in a bowl, and knead by hand until you get a smooth dough. You really have to get in there with your hands. If you're shy around dough, you might need a wingman to encourage you or introduce you. Claire was gone this weekend, so I had to suck it up and do it myself. I didn't introduce myself because I didn't know how. I feel full immersion is the best way to start a healthy relationship. After your dough is nice and smooth, put the dough into log form. Okay, I'm not sure I remember how to do this, or how this will help with baking. But here you go. Wrap in plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 30 minutes. During this time, I could finish the vanilla sugar by blending it up while the dough is chilling. I plan on sifting it over the cookies anyways, but it got pretty fine. The recipe says it makes 30 to 40 cookies, which is also 6 servings. I mean, who am I to judge? I'm here to follow the rules and eat. I still had some time to kill, so I went to go say hi to our fish. This is Ciabatta. She usually goes by Chi-Chi though. She enjoys food, hiding in plants, and people. She doesn't enjoy car rides, starvation, and other fish. I tried to work in small batches so the dough would stay together. It's extremely crumbly, like my last relationship though. I placed the other sections in the fridge while I wasn't working with them. Divide the dough into small portions and then shape each portion into a strand with a tapered end, and then into a crescent. Mine are a little more reminiscent of hooves or claws instead of the classic crescent shape. But it was still extremely tough to work with in general. It was almost too hard and brittle to roll. This was my live reaction trying to roll it for the first time. Oh, man. I resorted to this pinching and rotating method, which worked much better for me. Not as pretty, but I'd rather have a cookie than none at all. The cold dough was like working with... I really have no idea. I have nothing clever, so comment your favorite hard thing in the comment section. I specifically uploaded this video as not made for kids, so go wild. At the end of the day, it was not very pliable when it was cold, and it needed to be worked on with some hands. This recipe had so much variation from what Taste Atlas told me to do versus what I found online, from what vanilla sugar is, to the type of flour, egg variations, type of nut, lack of nuts. There was a lot of variance between ingredients. I know it says it was translated from the Austrian tourist board, but it almost feels like if you asked AI to make a Vanillekipferl cookie recipe. If you've ever seen the movie Inside Out, here are all my feelings while making this come together. I left them alone for 1 second, and they go all Lord of the Flies on me, as if I need more reasons to hate on this dough. Arrange your cookies on a parchment-lined baking tray and bake at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. They didn't expand that much, and they shouldn't catch any color. I didn't expect them to, so I stacked them pretty close together. It ended up working out. It's important to work quickly on this next step. Dust the freshly baked cookies with the vanilla sugar. They should still be hot enough to make the sugar stick. And after I picked Claire up from the airport, we got home and we were so ready to try these dudes. Apparently, they're better the next day. I was tempted to say the pairing was time out of pure lack of effort, but really these can be paired with some mulled wine, tea, or coffee. Given that it's nighttime and I would like to go to bed eventually, I made some decaf black tea. These were so light and melt in your mouth. The vanilla sugar definitely makes this stand out from just a regular shortbread cookie. The vanilla sugar tastes exactly how it sounds and like you would expect. Obviously they paired well with the tea. Overall, a pretty solid cookie. At some point, I'd like to try the authentic versions of all these desserts I'm making throughout this series. I just want to see if I'm getting an accurate rating or to see how close I get to the real thing. For now, I guess we'll share my apartment. So that's a 7.8 from me and an 8.0 from Claire, bringing up the Vanillekipferl to second place. So there you have it, Vanillekipferl from Austria. I snuck a piece yesterday before Claire got back from her trip, and I can say that they do keep well after a day, unlike some desserts. So with another solid dessert showing, join next time to see where we go in the world. Bring your passport.